biggest summit we've ever had. This is our fourth summit, and we have about 700 people. We started with about 100 people in 2011. For me, some of the highlights were having 3 former heads of state who are on our board, being interviewed by Senator John McCain, which focused on Russia and Ukraine and democracy, which was fascinating. 3 of those presidents all had democracy movements in their country that they were part of, and so it was very interesting to see that. Coming up in just a few minutes, we'll have the Vice Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, who is the second-ranking U.S. military officer. And I also enjoyed very much seeing Dr. Oz and the president of the LA Lakers, who brought out discussed a partnership that they created. That's really what's at the heart of public-private partnerships. It's really a win-win-win situation sometimes, because you've got a company who wins, a government who wins, and a population who wins. And Concordia is a charity, so we really won't get involved with a project unless there is a social impact of some sort. The financial sector is one area, the transportation infrastructure sector is another, and we're really starting to see different areas in which P3s can be incorporated. I think countries who have gone through economic difficulties, Greece would be at the top of that list, look to public-private partnerships to help them get out of that trouble, and that's something we really want to help with, and have been working on quite a bit.
How easy is it to be the mediator between such really important and I would say professionally run big corporations, and at the same time having to deal with governments that we all know, especially with some of the countries you mentioned, they have a lot of bureaucracy, they have leaders that at some cases they're not the best, they don't serve the best interests for their country, but in the end you are the mediator, you're the one who comes and brings them together. How hard is that for you and the rest of the people that work at Concordia?
It varies. Sometimes it's quite difficult, but that's why we believe so strongly that an organization such as Concordia was so critical to exist for no other purpose than to bring the two sides together. So much in this world never gets done because it never gets done, because people are busy, they are not paying attention, the urgent always overtakes the important. And so what we built Concordia to do is really focus on the important, and it really depends. In some places it's easier to work with the government, in some places it's easier to work with business. But what I think you're seeing in governments around the world, and we see this really everywhere, from Greece to the United States to everywhere, is governments are trying to mold themselves after business. So they're trying to offer customer service to investors. They're trying to become more efficient in the way they serve and sort of recruit foreign direct investment. And they're learning from businesses and how they operate and how they serve customers. And so I know Greece is doing something very similar. I think the slogan was, we want red carpet for investors, not red tape. That's something we see all around the world, and really something we try and help governments do. But having said that, there are some places where businesses are difficult to engage. So it's really depends on where you are.
Tell me a few words about your Greek heritage and your Greek family, and if because of this connection we might see Concordia organizing maybe an event in Greece in the near future.
So I was born in London, but my heart is Greek, and my father and my mother are both Greek. I have 3 brothers, and we all consider ourselves very Greek in heart, and grew up there during the summers, and have visited very often since, and feel a real connection to the country. And so, because we believe so heavily in public-private partnerships, and because we believe so heavily in Greece, we can see that these two entities would work together. And I know the Greek government is doing a lot of work on it, and we want to be helpful. And so, to answer your question, yes, doing something for Concordia in Greece is absolutely something that is on our short-term agenda. And I'm not sure if it's going to happen in 2015, but I'm hopeful it will. And I know the government and the private sector has been very welcoming to us, and I'm really confident that we're going to do something soon there, and it would make me very happy to be able to help in any small way to help Greece and Greeks get out of this crisis through public-private collaboration.